up?
Hey, welcome back to Steve Reads a Comic. I think I got it right. What's up, fellas?
Hey. What's up, ya cunts? You know what we don't have? Chicago-style pizza. Memphis does not have Chicago-style pizza.
We have that here. We have it in Brunswick, actually, and it's actually really good.
Oh.
Surprisingly good when you want Chicago style.
Next time I come up, I am going to eat that because I've never had it. And I've never
really?
been...
I've had it here, but the first time I had it was, and I don't remember the name of it, but the only time I've been to Chicago, we were told to go to this place to get Chicago-style pizza. It was amazing.
Really?
And this place that I went to here was good. I don't know if it's just as good, but it's very good. So,
yeah, I've never been to Chicago either. Rob, you been to Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you can take a train for what is it, 6 hours, 7 hours or something? Mm-hmm. Ain't bad.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing it.
When's the last time you've been on a train?
Since
I would love to go on a train. I'm such an old man. I want to go on a train ride.
We went on a train ride before you were born, Steve. It was freaking hilarious.
Rob's like, we did lots of fun things before he was born.
Grandma Rocco went with us to Washington, D.C. I remember it. It was so fun having her on the train.
So is that that's like an Amtrak thing? It's not like an old...
No, it was Amtrak.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an old engine with a caboose.
Mom had to help Grandma put up her britches after she went to the bathroom because it was so tight.
Dude,
oh, God. She was just laughing.
Speaking of britches and trains, dude, last week when the kids were on spring break, we went to this place called Union, what was it called? Discovery Park of America in Union City, Tennessee. And they had all kinds of things. It was like a science museum, but they had these trains set up outside. And we were going through them, and I was like, man, this would be so fun. And Kristen's like, I got to go. I'm like, what? Like, you all right? She's like, I got to shit. I was like, okay. So she immediately bolts out of there, I was like, all right, mommy will be back. And then, she came back. She's like, whew, that was close. So then 2 seconds later, I'm walking down. We're going to the next exhibit. And I almost shat myself, dude. We had walked from this exhibit to the next one, and I knew there was a restroom where Kristen went, and I looked back and see how far it was, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it, So luckily, Kristen found this single restroom at the exhibit that we're close to. If not, dude, I was doing that walk where how you hold your legs together and you're kind of doing the penguin walk.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's not. I was like, this is not good. I'm about to crap my pants in front of my family and all these people around, and there's nothing I can do about it. Kristen saved my ass by spotting that toilet, man. It was so bad. So anyway, the kids kind of didn't feel good earlier in the week, and then we had both the shitting day or whatever, and I'm like, all right, so that was the worst of it. And then the last 3 days of my vacation, Friday afternoon until Sunday, straight diarrhea for 3 days. Never had anything like this shit in my life, dude. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was like, it was just, where's all this fucking liquid coming from, dude? And then, how you get sick and because the smell is so bad. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to vomit now. But I'm in my master bathroom, so there's no tub next to me. So I get up, run to the other restroom with the tub, but then I was like,
why did you flush the toilet and then puke in the toilet?
Well, I don't know. I was like, because I was like, if I have I was like, if I have to shit, I can get to the toilet and puke into the tub at the same time, and I won't, it won't go everywhere. But then I got this. Kristen's like, are you okay? And I'm just running through the house naked, and I get to the cold living room, and it felt so good, you know how cold air makes you feel better, when you're sick. So I just hit the ground, and I'm just laying there on the ground completely naked. There's probably still shit coming out my ass. I don't even know. I was like, oh my God, I stayed there for a second, and then I didn't have to puke. And I was like, oh, thank God. So I got up and showered, and then the next 2 days, it was just me sitting on the toilet for fucking 2 days. It was horrible.
I hate throwing up. I haven't thrown up in a long time. But
what is that? Is there something going around? Is everybody shitting themselves?
It's called Union City Barbecue, man. Don't eat it.
Okay. Right. I did have a Coney dog at the cafeteria. But Kristen got it too. She ate something different. Maybe it was her cafeteria food altogether. I don't know.
Probably have
it can be bacteria in the ice machine. It can be anything. It literally can. It doesn't have to be meat.
I was in straight panic mode at that place, man. I was like, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to
Dude,
shit
getting old
myself.
sucks.
Dude,
I never understood why they said never trust a fart till you get old.
Dude, I ain't never had 3 days worth of fucking diarrhea, like nonstop. Like just
Really?
shitting water for 3 days. I was like, that must be some COVID remnant or something. I don't know what I had.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you finally do shit solid, you're like, yes.
I did it. We did it.
I did it. We did it. So that was my week. How's
Hell
your
of a way to
guys'
open
week?
the podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's all gross
gonna-
and disgusting. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no problem. I got worse than that if you want to hear.
Nope.
No,
I don't think I
that
did.
was not an invitation. What was I going to talk about?
Your son turned 21.
And that's the end of this podcast.
My son turned 21.
That's
He's
awesome.
Been trying various alcoholic beverages. I think he likes white wine now. That's where he's landed.
He's such a CEO.
That does taste the best. I mean, I'm with him on that.
I guess the least worst, I would say.
Is it Moscato or is it like a dry white wine?
I think she got Moscato.
Okay.
She told him to get Moscato. I believe.
Yeah, that is the best. I mean, if you're going to drink something.
Yeah.
That picture of you guys drinking, you're like drinking that dark shit, man. That's like German fucking beer.
Oh, Guinness. I like Guinness is
that's my favorite.
Not a good place to start.
He wanted to try it because that's like the only beer he's seen me, like he has memories, like when I would buy beer, that's what I would buy.
Yeah,
that's what he wanted to try. And so that's what I got because it's what he wanted. That's what he associated with like beer. Because I told him, like, when he went out with his friends the night before, he's like, what should I get? I was like, dude, just get a Bud Light. Just start with a regular ass Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light. You know what I mean? Because he's like, should I get a Great Lakes Brewing? I was like, don't start with an IPA. Just get a regular ass beer. You know what I mean? Like, but then he's like, and then he tried to order a Guinness, and they were out because St. Patty's Day was 2 days beforehand. So he didn't have beer. He tried a few other things. Like he was with some friends who they got him a shot of tequila. She didn't. He had some sort of like fruity mixed drink, some sort of cocktail that wasn't too bad, he said. And then he had like red wine that he hated. But he had like.
So he's done with drinking then?
Well, no, just today he got Moscato. Like he didn't like the Guinness. Surprise, surprise. And the other, because I like Guinness and I like PBR, which couldn't be further away from each other. But and so he hasn't tried like just our light beer. He's like, everybody says it tastes like piss. I'm like, listen, all beer tastes like piss. I don't care what those people say. It's all garbage. It's like those people who try to tell you there's better wine out there. It's like, it's all rotten fruit. It can't taste good. It's impossible.
Those people, you mean Rob?
Rob,
y'all fucking crazy, man. I don't know.
Like
it's all bad.
Okay.
It's all bad to me. It's like, you're drinking liquefied rotten bread. Like, how can it taste good? It can't. It's disgusting.
It's mead, man. It's good stuff.
There is one beer, and it's Thirsty Dog Raspberry Ale beer. That's what he should have started with.
Fucking beer. That's like fruity drinks.
No, it's still beer. It's not like what Molly drinks.
That's the same thing as what you're talking about.
No, it's not.
It's got raspberry in it. It ain't beer.
It's not as strong. It's subtle. It's very nice.
It's definitely beer. I mean, I've had it. It's definitely beer. It's not like White Claw.
Yeah, and if he likes white wine, Moscato, if he wants to go to beer, that's a good way to jump in.
Yeah.
So is he gonna? He's liking it or not?
He's still deciding.
How does he like the effects? Has he drank before?
No, the night he went out with his friends, he said he only had those 3 drinks. Because I told him, I was like, dude, drink like 3 drinks an hour. Don't go beyond that, or you'll have a terrible night. Mm-hmm. My thing, like when I was drinking, I would 4 drinks an hour was like my max. Otherwise, I would end up, praying to the porcelain god.
Yeah, why didn't you tell me that on mine?
I hadn't figured it out yet. I had not figured that out yet.
I was like,
a while.
4 drinks a minute. Sounds sweet.
We've all started there, and I was trying to give him the crib notes basically to avoid the instances where you're just squatting in the shower with no water running, just curled up in a ball.
You didn't want to turn your son over to stop him from drowning in his own vomit like you did.
Right. Exactly. He's too tall. He's too big. Can't do that. So, yeah, his birthday just passed. What else is going on? We've been on like an old school video game kick. He just been playing like the Sega Saturn. I mean, I'm always playing like Super Nintendo games and stuff.
Wait a minute. I wanna stay with this 21. Rob, what'd you do for your 21st? I don't know.
No idea. I drank so much before I was 21. I don't remember.
So
I
it
don't
wasn't
know
even
if you guys
special.
know this story. You want to know what I did for my 21st birthday? You will be stunned. I'm not sure. Do you guys know what I did on my 21st birthday?
I might if you tell me. I can't remember.
Any idea?
Was Steve there?
I spent it at Rob's apartment playing Hot Shots golf with you guys.
I was definitely there.
I don't think you guys knew it was my birthday. But yeah, that's what I was doing. We went down to visit Rob over Thanksgiving.
Where was I living?
In
that apartment.
In Kenmore?
No. This is Memphis.
Oh, in Memphis.
Yeah. We drove down there for Thanksgiving break, and you had a PlayStation, and you had some demo disc that had Hot Shots Golf that had like 1 or 2 courses on it. And we just played it all night.
I remember this now. I remember the demo disc.
Was I drinking? I don't remember.
You were always drinking back then.
The only thing I don't know. I don't think you were. The only thing I really remember is that's when I found out about your predilection for the Domino's banana pepper and pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
And that's on the thin crust. And I remember we ate that and played Hot Shots Golf all night. That was my 21st
I was
birthday.
drinking. If I had my pizza, I was drinking.
It was a good time.
That was when I was working like 80 hours a week. I probably got up at like 5 o'clock and went to work.
That's why you weren't drinking?
No, I used to drink and go to work.
That was
I had insomnia. I'd work till like 11, and then I come home and I'd end up like staying up watching LA Law because it was on like AMC or something like that. Dun dun. And I just sit there and drink, and like I couldn't sleep because I was working so many fucking hours. It's weird.
Yeah,
I wake up at 5:30 and do it again.
Rob's like, time to drive the forklift.
Yeah,
it was like a year before we moved down there, and then I think
that's
what everybody does.
Why we moved down there? Because we had so much fun on your birthday. We decided to move down.
I moved down there because you did, and I had nothing better going on. You just one day decided you were moving down there. I was like, I'll go. Like, and you were just like, okay. And meanwhile, Rob's like, I didn't know people were moving down here. Like, I don't even know if he knew you were coming.
I did not.
What are you talking about? I'm the best communicator ever. What are you talking about?
It was me, Steve.
I was like, oh, okay. And you guys are staying. Oh, all right.
We're moving in.
I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Okay, great. And you brought the animals. Fantastic.
We just brought one at first.
Yeah, we found the other one.
Yeah, Phil moved in. Well, no, we brought Phil. Phil was up here. We just left her with the parents until I came back up here.
Where the fuck did I work when I came down here? Oh, we went to ADI. That's what it was.
Well, you didn't. You went to school mostly, and then eventually you started working at ADI.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was your first job. I started at HQ and then ADI.
Yeah.
I was going to say you didn't work because you still owe me a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't even remember paying rent. Did I ever pay rent?
No.
I mean,
you never paid rent when we lived at the other place either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't remember that at all. I know I had a job.
Sean paid rent.
I think I paid a couple times. No, Sean, he's always.
Sean seemed to help out. I don't know if he paid
I paid my 1/3 and Rob paid his 2/3, basically, is what happened.
I think I paid all your utilities, though. I don't think anybody.
No, I chipped on everything except the cable bill because I was like, I do not watch television.
That is true.
And I refuse to pay that one. But I
You'd always give me else. Yeah, you give me something for the utilities.
Hey, Rob, he didn't watch cable. But behind us, behind the couch, he had the door open with his head peeking out.
Well, no, the one time I do remember watching is the Eddie Izzard special. Like, Steve and I were in the other room watching something on DVD, and I could hear the Eddie Izzard thing, and it was funny, so I went in there. That's like the one time I remember really actually watching cable TV. was because it was just so funny, whatever was going on in there.
Yeah, Dress to Kill, we watched that a lot, man. We laughed our ass off.
That was glorious. What else is going on in the world of comic books? We got John Wick 4 coming out.
Oh, hey, check this out. if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. Look what I got. This facsimile.
Nice.
Amazing
blurry.
Spider-Man 129 with the Punisher's first appearance.
Mine is not arrived.
Is that a real
yet.
comic book or is that?
Yeah. I mean, it's a facsimile, but it's the same.
I don't know what that means. It's
a copy. Yeah.
So what it is, a facsimile though, it's a reprint, but it's a reprint that is almost identical to the original, including the original ads that ran in it. So you'll get, that's a comic from like 1974, I believe.
Okay.
So you'll get all those old school advertisements and everything as well.
Yeah, like the difference. The difference is the price says $3.99. You know.
Yeah.
It's like today's price, and then it's got this barcode on the bottom. But,
fucking bar. Why couldn't they put that on the back? That's
right?
So
it's like fucking. That was the first thing I looked at. You know, like the price is one thing, but then that barcode just stands out.
You could put that anywhere else. You don't have to put it right on the front there. That's annoying. But yeah, everything in it is, and I think I don't know if it has the newsprint paper in it or not. I would hope it did.
I didn't open it.
I went to a movie. Aiden and I went with Keith and Big Dave.
Oh yeah, what'd you see?
Operation Fortune.
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
This is a Guy Ritchie film. It's good. It's good. It's
What's
got
it
about?
Aubrey Plaza, Jason Statham. What's the other guy? Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
It's Guy Ritchie. It's going to be Jason Statham.
If it's got Guy Ritchie, it's got Hugh Grant and Jason Statham.
Not necessarily Hugh Grant. But definitely Jason Statham.
Yeah.
So it's
Hugh Grant was hilarious. He was great.
So it's like an action.
And Aubrey Plaza is good. Yeah, that's.
What is it about?
Operation Fortune. You know, they're like,
are they robbing
CIA type things, and Hugh Grant was like a bad guy. They're saving the world, man.
Okay. So did you like it?
Yeah, I like a lot of Guy Ritchie stuff.
What about
The Gentleman?
What about Dave and Keith? They like it?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, consensus.
You know how picky Keith is, so he So
that's cool. I thought you were going to see Cocaine Bear.
No. I'd watch it. I'd rather see that than Avatar, to be honest with you. But
my friend,
I don't know why I'm so soured on Avatar,
because it's not good.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Like, I don't blame you for not wanting to see it. But my friend Val texted me the other day. She's like, "Hey, I bought Cocaine Bear. I'll give you my login so you can watch it." I was like, "Cool." I haven't watched it yet though.
It's already out on
a VOD, basically. Yeah, you
can
buy it on Vudu.
Yeah,
it's still at the theater.
My buddy just showed me that today. He's like, "Dude, you can watch it now if you want." He brought it up, showed me where to go. I was like, "Sweet."
Yeah.
He showed me the beginning. There's just like a guy panicking and dumping cocaine bricks out the plane. I was like, "Oh, okay. I so want to see this."
You see Shazam yet with the kids?
No, I didn't even know it was out. Somebody told me today when I walked in.
I think that's the problem why it's not doing so well.
I knew it was out.
I read an article. Yeah, I knew it was out, but they said a lot of people don't know it's like a kid-friendly movie, you know?
How could you not tell? If you saw the first one,
I don't
you should know that.
People are fucking stupid. Come on, man.
Yes,
you know this.
They are stupid. That is true.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be like Sean on this one. I'm like, I can wait till this one hits video, you know?
Yeah, you take the kids to the movie, though. I'll go with you. I want somebody to go with
None of my kids want to go to the movie. That's a fucking problem.
Steve. Rob wants to go to a movie with you. See, if I was down there, I'd go see Shazam with you. But
if you want to go see Shazam, that's fine. But like,
he wants to see it with you, dickhead.
I know. I get it. I get it. That's fine. But I don't really want to see it that bad.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Like I'm broke. I'd rather waste money on something else.
Why you broke, bitch?
Oh man, a lot of bills coming in, bro. I'm living above my means.
It's the only way to live.
How much was that facsimile?
That was
$4.
$4.
That was the actual price,
dude. I just came off of Disney on Ice, Lego Brick Fest, and then that Discovery Park, and then we were just going out to eat every day. Like, dude, I looked at my credit card bill. I was like, fucking hell.
Shit gets expensive.
Yeah.
And that's why Logan is downloading ISO files for the Sega Saturn, because it's a lot cheaper than buying them on the resale market. One of the games he wanted to get is like $1,000 used. Jeez. It's like, yeah, just download that shit. Like, that's
everything is so goddamn expensive. It's crazy.
But
So you really want to see that Shazam? If you want to,
Oh,
man,
I mean, I don't
I'll go with you if you
really
want
want
to
to see Shazam. I like going to
I'd
the
go.
movies.
go. I looked at the trailer and
I'd
I was
go.
like,
Somebody
meh.
wanted to go, I'd go.
I go every weekend if somebody would
Right.
go with me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you saw all the Oscar nods if you could.
No, I said I go to the movies.
If you
I didn't
could.
say I'd see the Oscar nods. I don't
Right.
even know what. I don't even weren't the Oscars already out? Didn't they have?
Yeah.
them?
Yeah. I was
I don't
just
even know
saying,
who
like,
won. I mean, I don't know.
everything, everywhere, all at once. Won
Yeah.
everything. Won
That was
every
Sean,
award.
I was gonna watch. I gotta watch it. Sean said it wasn't that good.
So who, me?
Yeah.
I got halfway through it. Steve watched the whole thing. So
It's fine. It's fine.
That's what I mean. It wasn't like I bounced off of like, oh, this is terrible. It was just I didn't care, and it was so hyped up.
Yeah.
And I was excited to watch it too. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. But it's just like it's just a gimmick, is all. And then the story is just your basic, oh, it's a mom and daughter relationship movie. It's like, oh.
Was Maverick better than that? I know with
yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
I'd say
I thought you were talking to Sean. I was like, well, Sean,
no, I already
Sean
knew your
finished
answer.
Maverick.
I was talking to Sean. I knew your answer.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie of all time, I think.
Like I said, Maverick literally vacillated between like goofy, terrible, romantic shit and like some of the most amazing action scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like it was like half of an amazing movie and half like, what are you doing kind of movie? Like, why? What is this? You don't need this. You don't need this terrible soundtrack. You don't need this corny romance. Just get me in the fucking jet, man.
Tom Cruise was giving high praise to something. I forget what it was. It might have been John Wick 4. I don't know.
When's that gosh damn Mission Impossible coming out? Next year?
I think they're supposed to be going out this year.
Yeah, at the end of this year.
I think part 1 is out this year.
I saw a preview for it, but I didn't see when it was going to come out.
I can't remember. I think it's part 1 is this year and part 2 next year, maybe. It might be next year, though. I could be wrong. Let me see. Dude, I forgot I have the whole internet here.
Those movies are so fucking awesome, man.
They are. They're so fun.
They're like the best. It's a perfect adrenaline fucking
Dead
ride.
Reckoning will be out July 14th.
This year.
Oh, that's
so
earlier.
The second part is next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want Tom Cruise to get. I mean, he's already old, but I don't want him to get where he can't do shit like this anymore.
He's Scientology. He won't age.
Hey, we got AI now. We don't need him anymore. We can just AI his ass into anything we want. We could put a 23-year-old Tom Cruise.
We could do it. We do that with Keanu too.
The Marvel lady got fired. I saw that in the news. Or didn't get fired. She quit or something.
Oh, one of the big time producers.
The big producers. Yeah.
Yeah, she left.
She was over like special effects and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
She quit or
we don't know.
Got fired.
I think she retired. I think she left Marvel from the headline I remember reading. I didn't really read the story because I didn't know who she was.
There was conflicting reports.
Okay.
Marvel's in flames. Watch out.
No, Get up. It's been in flames since the Eternals. It's been in flames for a minute.
Anybody watch Mandalorian tonight?
Yeah.
All right, so we got to talk about last week's Mandalorian and this week. So it's March 22nd, 2023. Today, a new episode aired. Well, watch last week. So let's talk about last week's. I don't know if you remember, but I said that I actually ended up fast forwarding through the part of the episode, and I think you guys understand why now.
You are 100% right. Like Chris and I fell asleep in the middle. We're like, this is fucking boring as hell. I was like, well, Sean said the beginning and the end were really good. I was like, so we actually have to wait through it.
It was just this long. What's that, Rob?
It was slow and didn't relate to anything. I mean, like you said, we kind of knew that already, everything that happened, but
right. So
I mean, it wasn't horrible. It
was horrible. It absolutely was.
It reminded me of Andor with that other guy. It was kind of like they were trying to do.
But they try to take a character that we dislike at best and hate at worst, make him sympathetic, didn't care, didn't give a fuck about this dude. The Empire goes to these extremes. Instead of just plugging his ass, they decide to go through this elaborate setup to get his mind flayed, And then again, they're trying to drum up sympathy, and the whole time I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about this dude.
Well, no,
like, I don't
no,
care.
that's not what happened. The girl tricked him so that he'd get the test for the cloning stuff.
There could have been a million ways to find that shit.
His mind.
Right, yeah. But it was just, we didn't need a whole episode about that. I was waiting for it to like wrap up or them to like cut away.
Right,
and then,
right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, can we do some back and forth like they do in the Star Wars movies, you know? Yeah. Like we'll do here, then we'll come over here, and then we'll come back. Yeah, like the screen wipes and all that stuff. Exactly.
But one of the cool parts, we get to see a mythosaur, a live mythosaur for the first time, which was awesome.
He's like, hey. It's funny. He was like, hey.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Just hanging out. And then at the end,
I was waiting for him to give the nod.
We see Bo-Katan gets to join the religious cult of the whatever sect of the Mandalorians that Din Djarin is a part of. Because she hadn't taken her helmet off, so she got to join up. Which I think, my guess is that's kind of just going towards like that's going to become her new clan, and she's going to become the leader, and that's going to be, like, especially after today's episode. Where she led them on a mission. But so something I noticed that I thought was kind of cool, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but so they were showing like the foundling Mandalorian, like the kids practicing and fighting, and you notice how big the visors were on their helmets. You know what I'm talking about? Like how the part where they see out of is a lot bigger than the adults.
Yeah.
Did not notice that?
I didn't notice.
The slits were bigger.
Anyway, yeah, where the whole like the T thing was just a lot wider, and I don't know if they did that because that's what the Halloween costumes looked like for kids. Like when you would buy those, like the cheaper ones.
You think they did it intentionally? Like
I kind of think they are, because it looks more like the cheap Halloween costume thing that you would get when you would get a Boba Fett costume back in the day.
Nice.
Before they started making things look better, because they wanted kids to be able to see,
right?
So they didn't want to do like the little slit. They'd have this big wide visor. So that was my thought. I was like, I wonder if they're calling back
the same
to the
principles so the kids could see. I mean, I don't.
Well,
think
yeah, but the adults need to see more than the kids do, in my opinion. So the adults need all the help they can get. They're the ones with the shitty eyes.
That's what Katie Sackhoff said. Her helmet's better because of the way it's slanted different. Yeah. She said that she could see much better than everybody else in their helmets.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she has like actual eye-shaped holes as opposed to just like a thin slit, basically.
Yeah.
So this episode I thought was actually really okay, except for one part of the episode.
Did you catch the guest star, Steve?
A guest star.
Did you see who it was? His redemption. Sean knows, right? You caught him.
Oh, are we talking about the Jedi?
Yeah. Do you know who that was?
No, I was going to ask you. I was like, who is this Jedi? Am I supposed to know who this is?
Jar Jar Binks, motherfucker.
Oh, I knew that motherfucker looked familiar. Yeah. All those deleted scenes and extra features I used to watch on the fucking.
He looks good. He doesn't look like he aged that much.
It took me like as soon as they showed him, I'm like, why do I know his face? And then I'm like, is that Hootie? I was like, no, that's not Hootie. And I was like, oh, it's fucking Jar Jar.
And then I looked at the credits to make sure at the end. I was like, I'll be goddamn.
It took me like a few minutes, and
dude, that's cool as hell, man.
I was pretty sure
some badass Jedi shit with those lightsabers too.
Yeah. Do you think the other Jedis kind of went down too quickly? Taking those blasters, like
everybody's at different skill levels, man.
I guess, man. I'm just like,
okay. So I gotta say something about this episode though. I thought that was cool, but dude, that kid was so dead. There's no way. Like, let's wait till nighttime. Let's camp out.
Let's get to what we were talking about. But first,
let's do it
chronologically, and let's go back to the beginning when the foundlings are fighting, and Din Djarin's like, hey, Grogu, get in there. And I start cracking up immediately because he's maybe a foot tall, right? And he's going to go fight.
He's a foot.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And like, he's going to be okay, but I'm like, this kid's going to get punted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to get punted. And then they show him, like, so they do this little game where they choose the weapon, the other kid chooses the weapon, and they choose like the little wrist gauntlet with 3 darts. They have to hit each other with it.
Paint dart.
And he on the third turn, he's about to go down. He's like, show him what you can do. And he does the most goofy looking fucking double flip over this kid that's like straight out of 1982. Like, it looked worse than the Mark Hamill. Like, the Mark Hamill flip looked good in Return of the Jedi. This looked literally like a stuffed animal being tossed in the air.
I think they just threw him, dude. I swear to you. I think they're
That's
like,
what it was. I'm just like, why did they do that?
Film
Why
that.
did he get, like, what the hell was that all? Why did he do that? Why didn't he, like, use the Force and stop the dart and then shoot the kid or something? You know what I mean?
No, that's what flying looks like. Because I forgot to tell you, Kristen and I have been we watched like the first 4 episodes of Superman and Lois or whatever.
Yeah.
And once again, when they go to fly, he lifts his one leg. It's always one leg. The knee is bent. Grogu flies like he should fucking fly. He just fucking, he looks like a fucking stiff board.
He looked like he was tossed. That was the one thing where I was just kind of shaking my head, like, "Oh, why'd they go that route?"
I like.
However,
that was good.
So this like dragon creature,
yeah, dude, they keep pulling my heartstrings with that fucking kid, man. That Grogu, like, I don't care what he does, dude. When he went to bend his wrist to shoot the paintball, god damn, man, that shit is so cute. I can't stop watching Grogu.
So we go from last week's episode, which sucked. And then this week's I thought was fantastic. So this dragon shows up, snatches the kid he was fighting with, the other foundling, and then they have to find him. And Bo-Katan, does the smart thing, jumps in her ship. Everybody else apparently keeps their jetpacks on a quarter of a tank.
And then the guy comes back and he's like, "We never make it that far."
Right?
Why'd you try it again, motherfucker?
Because it was his son. He's got to try.
Well, that's what got me, though, too, is like, at first I wasn't really invested in the kid. I knew he was going to be fine. But when Vizsla, or what is that his name? I forget his name. But
I think you're right.
Paz Vizsla.
When he's like, "It's my son," like, immediately I was like, and I know we haven't seen that guy a lot, but immediately I was like, oh, I'm invested now. Like, I really want this kid to survive. And I like you could see and hear the desperation and everything in the dad. Like, I immediately related to that. And then like the great scenes, like fighting the thing, the way they were like working together to like wrap its wings up and stuff.
Yes, and when they have the bolos, when they have the camera behind the jetpack, so you can, it looks like you're flying. I love that. I love that shit, man. And
so they had a great scene with that, and like they do, of course, they do rescue the kid.
Let's camp out overnight. The kid's dead. I know you need drama. I get it.
Right.
We're fucking watching sci-fi.
It's a kid. It's a family show. It's not.
Right.
They're not going to have the kid. Because what's funny though. To your point though, Rob, when it went to regurgitate, I was like, oh, this could go really badly. Like instead, this whole kid comes out. But for a minute, I was like, is this gonna be like the scene from The fucking Fly, dude? Like,
and then you remember it's a kid show. Yeah,
I was thinking that too. I was like, all right, they're obviously it's going to regurgitate them. And
I
I was thinking what Sean was. I was like, are we getting all the limbs from this kid? Or?
Right.
I liked how the dad rushed in because that's exactly what all of us would do.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the most realistic thing that happened is when he just ran, just started going for it. I was like, yeah. Now he's in a hurry. He was camping out down there last night.
He's like, five more.
He kept stressing the fact, he's like, we got to be quiet. We can't, they get killed all the time. And when he kept saying that, like, it didn't even occur to me that was his son. I was just like, damn, he's incredibly concerned. What a good guy. It's like, oh, it's his kid. That makes more sense now. But again, Bo-Katan proves her leadership.
She regains her faith in this episode.
Yeah, the Mythosaur sighting. She gets the Mythosaur pauldron insignia.
She's getting hooked back in.
I like how the lady didn't believe her. She's like, yeah, in your dreams. Or in your
I think she was
like, this is the way.
I think she's more like the Oracle in the Matrix. She just tells them what they need to hear at the time.
I don't know. Yeah. She's probably end up going to be evil or something. Who knows?
But what I think, though, like I said, is just they're setting up Bo-Katan to kind of lead this new order. And again, I just love all the Mandalorian lore.
Redemption
and stuff.
for Bo.
And
with or without the Darksaber,
Well, I think she'll get the Darksaber. How, maybe they'll just have a duel or whatever because she wants to earn it. But she's showing that she is a leader. Like Din Djarin's not a leader. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have an interest in leading. So it makes sense for her to kind of lead these guys into whatever's. I assume it's building up to a big battle at the end with all these Mandalorians, which gives me fucking goosebumps when I just thinking about it.
Who are they going to fight?
I don't know.
I don't. That's what I'm curious.
Don't care. Could be Snoke for all I know. I don't know.
Who's the protagonist in this so far?
Snoke's way 100 years off. I'm always fucked up on the timeline.
Who's the protagonist in this?
Din Djarin is the protagonist of the Mandalorian.
I mean the opposite. The antagonist.
The
antagonist. Yeah,
the Empire.
You know what I meant. You speak, Bob.
The Empire is the antagonist.
I guess it's the Empire.
Yeah, it's like the remnants, and so what's funny is like normally I would care, but like I said, I love the Mandalorian lore so much that I don't even care.
Well, I don't.
How did they screw up Boba Fett? I mean, they could have.
Right?
I mean, it's just
how did you? I still think they did it on purpose.
That up.
Just to fuck with us fanboys.
Fascinated with the Babaka tank, whatever the hell it's called.
Whatever final battle happens, big battle, they're definitely going to be Game of Thrones style because those young chickens or dragons are going to be old when they go in to fight. And there's going to be Mandalorian. Yeah. There's going to be Mandalorians riding on the back of that shit.
Where the hell was everybody in that ship with those three?
Right? How are they not getting?
They look like a clown car getting out of that ship, dude. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was a bit ridiculous.
I liked that moment though. I liked that they kept those things, and I was just like, oh, this is cool, man. I like that they didn't kill any of them. It's funny because when they first burst out of the nest, I was like, oh, please don't kill the baby crate dragons or whatever the hell they are.
Well, when she came back, she's like, we have more fondlings. And I was like, what? They found some more alive? And then the chicken comes out.
Oh, you didn't know that? I knew immediately. Because as soon as the mother died, I was like, what about the baby dragons? That's the first thing I thought of. And they said foundling. I was like, yep, there it is.
I feel like they'll introduce a villain soon. Let us know exactly who they're going to be up against, but I might, like Steve said, it might just be the Empire. It might just be them fighting waves of stormtroopers. Yeah. Who the fuck knows?
I'll tell you one thing. I can't wait to see fucking Grogu older in full Mando gear.
What happened to that Jedi, the Jar Jar Jedi? He didn't die, did he?
No, I don't think so.
They didn't show him die anyway, right?
No,
right.
So he might show up, which would be cool.
Well, Jar Jar wasn't a Jedi; he was a senator from Naboo.
So
the
actor,
the Jedi.
Oh,
Ahmed Best or whatever his name is.
No, they didn't show him dying.
Yeah.
So he could come back.
I don't want actual Jar Jar to show up. Do not mistake what I just said.
That was
That's not what I'm saying.
That was a nice gesture because that guy took a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hope everybody that gave him shit welcomes him back. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Those are all troll, shitty people.
Yeah.
I've never understood getting angry at an actor for accepting a role. I would have played fucking Jar Jar Binks if they asked me.
Yeah.
Dude, we all would have.
Yeah, like, and
he
as
did
much
exactly
as I hated the
what
character,
George wanted him to do, man. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be mad at someone, be mad at George. But even then, you don't need to go online and just constantly berate about a character you don't like.
Dude, as much as I, didn't like the prequel as much as the original trilogy, like seeing Grogu and whatever that Jedi's name is going through Coruscant, like they did in episode 2 with Obi-Wan and Anakin on that ride and everything. I was like, damn, this is so awesome. Like this whole setting, just the scope of Coruscant and just a planet of nothing but city. It's just so cool. And man, I wish I would have thought of shit.
You want to touch the rock?
Yeah.
That was the last episode.
Yeah. That last episode, I was just like, what happened? What happened in this episode?
I went off the rails with that. It was like, I don't care. And I guess that's why I ended up fast forwarding through like right up until I was like, oh wait, they're finally they're finally dropping the other shoe and they're arresting him or whatever. Let me watch this scene. And then they got back to the characters we care about. But yeah, everything in the middle was just like, The fuck happened? Talk about a filler episode, man. I thought other episodes were filler. That was some fucking filler, man. God damn.
That was some straight filler.
That was not enjoyable. I was just like, what? And immediately though, I was just like, is this turning into Book of Boba Fett? Please don't turn into Book of Boba Fett. And it just went off the rails a little bit. It recovered though. And this week, like I said, I just love this week's episode. It didn't advance the story a lot or anything, but I just like seeing the Mandalorians be Mandalorians. So
it was badass. Just the scope of all the Mandalorians, like every time they were on screen. Just
all right.
like
I have questions. Some of my questions got answered. So Bo-Katan said, like, how the fuck am I supposed to eat with you motherfuckers if I can't take my helmet off? And they're all like, we all separate and go eat. I'm like, okay. And so then immediately I'm like, so we've seen Din Djarin with his helmet off. Somebody's doing his hair. He ain't cutting his own hair. Because if he was, it wouldn't look like that. He'd have a buzz cut. Who's cutting these motherfuckers' hair? Because, like, how does that work? If you need, because if they all had buzz cuts, I get it. Because that's something you can do yourself. When you see Pedro Pascal's hair, that's obviously, like, is that a skill they teach at some point?
They're all master hair crafters.
they're all barbers as well as Mandalorian.
That is the way.
This is the way.
the other question that I had was when Vizsla's like, "That's my son." I'm like, "Do you fuck with the helmet on? Like how does that work? Like Jesus Christ,
yeah,
there's got to be. I need to know more information about this stupid helmet rule.
Unless, yeah, you can't ever do missionary. That's for sure.
Like, I just feel like the rule should be your enemy can never see your face or something like that, or people outside the clan can't see your face. Why can't your clanmates see your face? That's fucking stupid.
That is not the way.
So you can leave.
Well, it should be the fucking way. I hope Bo-Katan changes the rule and she's like, "This is the fucking way now. Go get your hair done. And y'all got some nappy ass dreadlocks under there. Like, you can look at each other when you have sex now. Please, for the love of God, let Bo-Katan take over and change some of these goddamn stupid ass rules."
No, if they're as religious as they seem to be, then they don't. They have sex once a year and they sleep in separate beds.
They do it like that. What is it, like the Mormons or something? Like where they have a sheet and they just cut a hole out for their junk. Like, like I don't
is
know.
Is that a real thing, or did you just make that?
I've read that. I don't know.
I've seen something on that. I was watching something on that. So, I mean,
yeah,
I can attest to that.
So nobody's got anything to say about Grogu's bling? Bling.
That's what I said.
So this kid is gonna fall the fuck over. He's got like the mithril vest on. And now he's got this giant fucking Flavor Flav fucking heavy ass.
It's mithril. Get it right, dude.
Mithril. Well, it's actually Beskar. But anyway, but it reminds me of the mithril vest from whatchamacallit, Lord of the Rings.
That's what I said earlier. I was like, I can't wait to see Grogu older in full Mando gear, like all his armor.
He's got this giant. Like, you couldn't have made that any smaller. She's like, you'll grow into it. It's like, yeah, if he can fucking walk, you are damaging this kid's spine. No wonder fucking Yoda's got a stick. Like, what are you doing?
I thought she was gonna like make a breastplate. It was just like,
yeah, it's just
like a medallion, dude.
Yeah, it's giant.
It was way oversized. I agree.
You know how
I agree.
You know R2-D2 just like falls over? Like that's gonna be Grogu from now on. It'll just plunk. Because he's all front heavy now.
Wait a minute. So are you allowed to take your gear off? Or
it's just the helmet is all we've heard so far.
Okay. So when you go to bed, you can take the rest of your shit off?
Yeah.
As far as we know,
go to bed in your own room without your helmet.
Right.
The key is nobody can see you.
Lock all the fucking doors and everything.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Make sure nobody. Make sure
you
the
can
maid
run
doesn't
around
pop
naked
in.
as long as you have your helmet on. Is what the.
And what happens if somebody busts in and it's not even your fault? It's still your fault.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. If like the maid shows up, like fluff your pillow, and
you
next thing you know, you're like, fuck. and then you got to do like Robert Redford or Winter Soldier and be like, oh, I wish you would have knocked, and then fucking cap her.
Just kill it.
that way, like, I'm not going to fucking Mandalore one more goddamn time. Like, you know how much fuel that takes?
He's got buckets of the living water in his room. He's just like,
he just like takes a cup, sprinkles it over his head. Living fucking waters, all right, bitch.
I'm back.
Goddamn. That's what I do. I just walk around with my helmet off. You're like, oh, you're an apostate, and then just be like, have like a cologne bottle, living waters, bitches.
This reminds me of Catholicism and confession. Just like, I just murdered somebody. Couple Hail Marys.
Right.
You're sweet.
Right. You're good. You're fine. You're a good person. God loves you.
You're cool.
It's fine. No big deal.
It's fine.
So yeah, Mandalorian this week. I love today's episode. It's completely different from last week's, which was great. What else was on the docket? I think last week we talked about James Gunn directing Superman. I know there's been some other nerdy news, and every time I think of it, I'm like, oh, I should write that down. I'm like, no, I'll remember, and then I don't remember.
Well, let's
talk. Write it down.
I mentioned Superman and Lois. Is that the name of the show?
Yeah.
Did you watch that? You guys watch that at all?
I watched a few episodes on HBO.
Yeah, what I watched, it was good.
How far did you get?
I got like 2 episodes.
I got a few episodes in, like when they revealed that the one son has powers and the other one doesn't yet.
That's about as far as I got.
And I thought it was, for a CW type show, I thought it was actually pretty solid.
Yeah. It was like a step above, Smallville.
Right.
Definitely above Smallville. But not HBO quality, it's like
not enough to really pull me in though.
Yeah, it's like CW, you're doing better, keep going.
Right.
But they need money for that, so
right.
Chris and I are enjoying
it. The first episode and the last episode will have the special effects budget. Everything in between is on
right.
Well, hell, that was like the Marvel fucking shows too.
Yeah.
No, actually, there's stuff I really liked about it. I mean, I like the characters playing Clark and Lois. I'm not really into the kids stuff. I'm old-fashioned. I'm more interested in Superman. I did like the new Lex Luthor and the idea of like multiple Lex Luthors and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it just wasn't quite enough for me to stay on it.
It seemed like every episode at some point, like Lois and Clark would sit down and have a glass of wine and discuss the problems in their life. Like it's like, well, right. We're 22 minutes in, and here's this scene. It's like them at the kitchen table, them on the porch.
You're effing Superman. You ain't got no problem.
Right. It's like I just don't picture Superman sitting down with a glass of wine, and I don't know.
I see that. I mean, you can't do all that stuff all the time. You gotta have some
that's what I'm saying. Like Oh no, I'm saying like every time they're always drinking a glass of wine. They're
right.
Like, oh, I fucked up, Lois. How can I fix this? Let's drink. But yeah, I mean, I'm still enjoying it, but I don't. Yeah, it's not like anything great.
Anybody watch Shrinking yet?
No, I haven't renewed my Apple TV yet. I got to do that. I think I'm waiting for Severance season 2. Most likely, because I really just don't. I have no idea.
Like 3 years from now.
Right. I assume
a lot of
it'll
these
be
shows,
this year, but I don't know.
I totally forget what the hell happened.
Dude, every podcast we say, I'll give you my password. Rob, I'm giving you my DC tonight. Sean, I'm giving you my Apple TV.
Okay. I'll take it happily. Yeah. Dude, we should really I was telling Maggie this. I was like, we should pare down and like each just kind of pay for something. Like somebody takes Disney Plus, Hulu, you know what I mean? And just start sharing stuff.
Yeah.
Maggie's like, don't talk about that on the air. It's like nobody's listening. It's okay.
The only problem with that though is you get to see all my shitty things I've been watching. You're like, oh no, my
everybody
God.
Creates a profile. Everybody has their own profile.
Debbie does Dallas.
Oh well, no, I don't care about that. I go to other sites for that.
Right?
Oh boy. Nobody's
going to see my Pornhub history but me.
Oh shit! I just texted it to you.
Oh, am I Chromecasting? God damn it!
But the only thing I did on vacation, I finished Succession, all the seasons. There's
Is
a
that
new one
good?
coming out. I love it, man. It's like Rupert Murdoch. It's a story about like him basically, and for some reason, I love his character. Like I just didn't see myself enjoying something like that.
I
But
tried to watch that Yellowstone show, and it just instantly made me angry because I'm like, I don't give a fuck about what rich people are doing. Like, it just made me angry,
I
so I
don't
turned it off.
I don't know what Yellowstone is. What is that?
I think Harrison
It's
Ford's in that one, isn't he? Is that the one with
no,
Kevin
it's
Costner?
Kevin Costner.
Mm.
It's like Game of Thrones for conservatives. That's
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds interesting.
couldn't get into it. Didn't care
It's not
about
like a
the.
Western. I thought it was like a Western or something.
No, it's in the West, but the Yellowstone itself is like set in modern times, and then there's a shit ton of prequels and other spin-offs and all kinds of stuff. I just tried to watch the actual Yellowstone, couldn't get into it. Because again, it was just like I don't give a fuck what these people are doing. I don't care. I started watching that Reservation Dogs. I like that, but I haven't finished that. I need to finish that up. I need to finish the latest season of What We Do in the Shadows. But yeah,
that's got to be the best show.
it's so good. All right, let's talk about this week's comic, Hitman, by John McCrea on pencils and Garth Ennis on story. It's about a guy named Tommy Monahan who gets superpowers. He's a hitman. Then he gets superpowers. He gets he's mental telepathy. Is that right? Where he can read
Telepathy and
thoughts.
X-ray
Yes,
vision.
telepathy, not
And
telekinesis.
right,
Telepathy.
and he can also X-ray vision. Like, was
X-ray
it?
vision.
Is that the other thing? I couldn't remember. He doesn't use that one a lot.
He
Except for when
got
he's picking up
bit by
chicks.
an alien vampire.
Yeah, and he got his
Dude,
powers.
when we started reading it, I was like, "What the hell is this, man?" It got
Comic
better.
books, baby.
Well, I was
Comic
like,
books. DC Universe, baby.
Yeah. He's like,
oh, boy.
Being a hitman, he decides to become like a meta hitman. Like, he goes after like super powerful the super villains, or not super villains, but people with powers, because he's still hired to do stuff.
so this
And
was before the boys, before he did the boys, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think this was like late '90s. This started, and I think the boys was a little bit just a few years later. But again, it's got that Garth Ennis style. He clearly hates superheroes. For instance, like when Batman, because this is all in like Gotham City for the most part. Batman comes after Tommy Monahan because he got a contract to kill the Joker, and like he punches Tommy Monahan in the stomach, and then he immediately vomits all over Batman's feet.
Right. And then Batman uppercuts him into like into the next world. I was like, oh. Yeah.
So this was did you guys read both story arcs?
Mm-hmm.
All 7 issues.
Yeah.
So the first 3 was he gets set up by this reminding me of the Saint of Killers from Preacher, but that's not his name. What's the guy's name? The Lords of Guns or something like that. He gets set up by the Lord of Guns or the Lords of Guns to go after the Joker, and it turns out like, and the Lords of Guns is like some sort of, basically it's some demon comprised of
5
like,
Nazis.
like these Nazis that went to hell for their crimes and everything, and they're trying to recruit him to go murder people. And Tommy Monahan wants nothing to do with it. He has his own moral code. You know, he only kills what he deems bad people. So,
what'd you think of the look of, all those 5 dead Nazis together as one person? Because it had like it to me, it looked like if Dr. Seuss were to draw an evil villain. That's what that character looked like to me. Because it had like 5 arms and it used guns as its weapon, and
yeah.
but the character looked like a Dr. Seuss character to me, and I
think
I was loving it. I was like, this thing looks so crazy and unique and creepy.
I think that was John McCrea. I think John McCrea has a little bit more of a cartoony style, which I love. Like, I prefer that to the ultra realistic art that a lot of people do. So I like the way he did Batman. He has an exaggerated style, I would say.
Yeah.
Um,
But it
It
still
looked
had
and
it had
it
the
looked
Charles Manson
well,
Nazi
the swastika,
swastika
yeah,
on his
on his
forehead.
forehead.
Yeah.
it
Um,
the head, the shape of the head reminded me of what are the Green Lantern, those
yeah. I know what you're talking about, like
those
the high, whatever they're
from
called.
the Masters, whatever they are,
Right.
the old
Oh,
aliens.
oh
What the
yeah.
fuck are they called?
Ancient
I don't
ones or
remember.
something.
Yeah, I
The
don't know.
Immortals.
I don't know.
I
You know
forget
what
what
I'm
they're
talking
called.
about? The
Yeah.
head kind of
Yeah.
looked like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that first story arc. I like the second story arc a lot better. I just wanted to read all 7 of them because it was only 7 issues.
I'm with you. I really enjoyed the second story arc. Yeah,
I love a good revenge story. I just do.
You know what? And after that second story arc, there were 4 issues, and after the third one, I was like, oh, I know why they called it 10,000 Bullets now,
Right.
because everything was leading up to him just going John Wick on these motherfuckers.
Yes. So yeah, the second story arc, basically, it's a little bit similar. He gets set up again. He gets called to do a hit, but it's because some mob boss.
He not very bright.
This mob, it's a very Garth Ennis mob boss, very, very like disturbing looking. He's like half of a Siamese twin, but Tommy Monahan had murdered the other
It's Mo
half of
Doubles.
the
It's Mo Doubles.
Mo Doubles.
Mo Doubles. The other half was just like
A corpse.
deteriorating. It was weird. He's trying to keep him alive, but at the same time, it's killing him too.
Yeah, because he's dead. Like the other half, he killed the other guy. And apparently something else, that alien killed his dad or something. I wasn't sure about the history there that they alluded to. But yeah, basically, he loses, like in the first story arc, he meets a chick. Things are going well with her. That ends up going to shit.
I need to talk about this. He meets this woman, Wendy. She falls in love with him after 2 months.
Yeah.
But at no point during that 2 months did she ever ask him to take his glasses off, because he's got like what, no eyes or something?
No, she mentions it that he won't take them off. She's mentioned it to him.
But I mean,
I don't know what's going on with his eyes. I have no idea.
How do you go out with someone for 2 months? You know, do what you got to do, and not have him take off the glasses, or at least one time. Like that dick must have been amazing for her to just be like, I'm in love with you after 2 months, and never saw his eyes. Like, he's always wearing shades. He goes to sleep with shades on.
So you forget.
He fucks with shades on.
You forget, though. He has mental telepathy. He can meet all of her needs without talking to her. So therefore, yeah, it is amazing because he can do something we can't. He knows what women want. Like he is Mel Gibson from that movie.
Yeah.
So how did he break down that conversation? Because he knows that she's going to say, hey, what about these glasses? So he just cuts it off before she can say it.
Well, no, again, they broached the subject. I don't know if you missed it, but she's asked him what's the deal, and he just kind of
and he
dodges the question, basically.
Exactly. But how do you fall in love with someone that is you can't see their fucking eyes?
That's like saying like somebody who wears an eye patch, or like a blind person who wears those glasses can never find love. So you don't have to.
So he just said, I'm blind. I don't want you to see my eyes. Something like that.
I don't know what he said. Yeah, it could. She might have let it alone because it could be, hideous scarring he doesn't want her to see.
But he doesn't walk with a fucking stick with a red tip.
He never said he was blind. But like I said, it could just be simple scars.
I know. So as a woman, I'm thinking, how the fuck is he walking around if he's not blind? If he's not blind, then why doesn't he take his glasses off?
Scarring. I keep saying scarring. Scarring doesn't equal blind. It could just be
this is what you're hung up on?
Severe.
Right.
I'm sorry. Sean always picks out the little shit like that. That's something that was like.
I feel like this is
the same thing to him.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to tell you how I felt when I was reading it. I'm like, this bitch must have been getting fucking.
We all do it.
Like, yeah, no. I think that's totally plausible. I find that totally plausible.
Okay, so if you went out with a chick and she had glasses, dark glasses, she wouldn't take them off. You'd be
I
like,
would
I'm
be
cool.
incredibly curious.
If she was reading my mind and knew
Right,
everything
if
I
she's
wanted,
like, make it, like, I'd just be like,
probably
hey,
not. That'd
nobody's
be-
perfect. What are you going to do? You know, like,
yeah, right.
Oh, that's the spot.
Here, I'd rip them fucking shit off her face. Be like, let me see your
Why-
eyes.
all right, well, I'm not shallow Hal over here.
Okay,
so no,
whatever. Dude, come on. You're not
It wouldn't-
attracted to your significant other. You got to be attracted to someone physically
you don't
first.
have to see someone's eyes to be attracted to them. Like, you don't have to.
No, you don't have to, but it helps.
Boobs only.
Yeah, it's like,
Rob's like, I've never looked at my wife above the neck.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying,
You've
I
been
like
wearing
to see
sunglasses for 6 years. What?
I'm just saying, I like to see the person I love. I like to see at least their eyes, and if they don't have eyes, I'd like to know why.
2 months is really not that long of a time, though.
That's why I was like, how did you fall in love with 2 months? Especially when you can't take your glass, whatever.
Because again, mental, dude, telepathy.
I get it.
I
get it.
Yeah,
he can read her mind. He can't control her mind, though.
No, but you could do a lot if you knew what people were thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know how happy Maggie is when I just realize she's hungry and I figure out what she needs to eat? She's ecstatic.
Yeah, so women, but we all know what women want. We just don't give it to them.
That's not true.
I don't know. You might know.
Every day is a mystery. I don't know where you're going.
Food is a big one.
Okay, but figuring out what
might
food,
be number one.
Yeah, food is big, but figuring out what and getting that right, that can end relationships.
You just say, "Hey, whatever you want, I'll go get." Easy.
Oh, okay. So your wife just tells you what she wants to eat. She might.
No, they don't ever tell me what I want.
Exactly my point.
I have to decode it.
That's why you
exactly. He doesn't have to do that. He can skip that step and skip the stupid argument where you're like, just pick something. You will die if you don't pick a food.
Oh, that is so true.
So true. I'm in love. You're right.
Like
I don't
figure
buy
all that
it.
out.
I don't buy it. But anyway,
so yeah, the second one becomes a revenge tale. Is one friend gets killed by this other Johnny Dangerously. What's his name? Johnny Navarone.
Johnny Navarone.
And
Navarone.
Johnny Navarone.
Guns and Navarone.
I think I need bigger.
Another hitman that has figured out a way to, because he is psychic, he can sense when somebody's coming after him typically, but this guy's pretty smart and he has like these great distractions. I love the whole portion, the whole scene, whatever you want to call it, where the ninjas come after him. It reminded me very much of like Daredevil, including the TV show. And instead of like a big fucking fist fight, they just mow them all down.
Yeah.
They're attacking them with swords. So they just shoot the ball, because why wouldn't you? And like, I feel like that was Garth Ennis kind of poking fun at people like Daredevil, who would rather go to fisticuffs with 30 people instead. Him and Nat just fucking blow everyone away. It's like 2 panels of the comic.
My favorite arc was the dirty cop. I love how in the end they couldn't kill him because they didn't want the heat. They didn't want all that smoke, so they ended up just running over his feet. They just drove by him and ran over his feet. I was like, "Oh, that's fun." Yeah. I was like, "That's awesome." And then, but then they find out that guy led to his best friend getting killed, and then they just go kill him in the end. And it was a great scene. They drive the car through the building, hit this cop so hard, one of his eyeballs pops out of his socket.
They pinned him. They pinned him into the wall or something.
Yeah, and his eyeball just goes flying. Just one eyeball, not both. I was like, what a great comic. This is awesome.
What was he had a remark. He said something about when you go to the bathroom, something you don't get to know it before you flush it or something. I started laughing. I don't know what the saying. I think he was talking to Batman. I gotta find it.
Who said that? Tommy Monahan?
Yeah, he said something because Batman was like, "You kill everybody" or something. I don't remember what it was. It's something when you flush it. It was basically you just flush it. You don't get to know it or something. I don't know what he said. I gotta find it. Talks to me yourselves.
So
Oh,
Dude,
shit.
I would love. I feel like this is a character that James Gunn might potentially visit cinematically. You know, he brought us Peacemaker, which I'd never heard of. So why? Maybe this guy's too close to Peacemaker, but I would love to see some sort of TV or movie adaptation of this character in the DC universe. I like seeing like the lesser powered people in the superhero world type stuff, like Peacemaker, basically. Um, so I'd love to see that. But yeah, this was I'd give this like I'd give it 3.5 stars. The first story arc was good, not great. Second one was really good. Again, basically a revenge tale with a shit ton of violence, big violent payoff at the end, big fight scene with the chef. And then you had that great little monologue where Nat is telling the chef, he's like, well, my friend said when we came in here to kill everybody.
Right.
And he hasn't said anything to me since then. So I haven't heard anything about sparing the chef.
Right. Right. It's like
Great little monologue there.
What did you think of in the first story arc of the, what are they called? The Arconin or
Yeah, the Arconin. Yeah, I think that was
Arconin?
it. Yeah.
Like I don't know how to describe them. It's like like in RoboCop when that guy gets hit by toxic waste. They look
Yeah.
like that guy after he gets hit by the car. You know, like these were
Right.
the two big leaders of hell or whatever. Like
Right.
they were just like half their
They were
bodies
like
there,
it was
hanging off,
like
flesh hanging off. It was weird, but it was really cool. I was like, okay, I can get with these guys.
it was like they couldn't restore their forms. Like they'd been decomposing in hell, but they were still alive.
Yeah,
Basically
yeah.
over the past 50 years or however long it had been.
So these visuals I was getting from reading this comic for the first time were pretty new. I really enjoyed the artwork and the way that the imagination that they had drawing this, man.
Garth Ennis, John McCrea, great team. I follow John McCrea on Instagram like I do a lot of artists, so I love to keep up with that stuff. What would you rate this comic overall?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's 3.5, 4. I really enjoyed it. I'm surprised this hasn't, like, I don't know anything about this. All I know about is that stupid video game Hitman. I haven't heard any other Hitman.
No, nothing
really.
related to that. Yeah, it never really took off.
Is it too much like the Punisher, or I don't.
I honestly I have no idea. I think it ran for a decent amount of issues. I don't know if I think it was like 60 issues though. So about 5 years. And I don't know what happened after that. I was on board because of Garth Ennis after reading Preacher and stuff. I was kind of looking for anything he was doing. I don't know why the character hasn't been more popular. I mean, there's a ton of comics characters that don't get really big necessarily, but maybe DC just didn't like the character. I have no idea. I have no idea why we haven't heard anything.
The second arc had some good misdirection too, because they started off saying that, oh, this is the day my best friend was killed, and you just meet his best friend Nat, and you're thinking it's Nat the whole time, but it's actually the other one of the other twist. Guys that was his friend, but Tommy didn't consider him like his best friend.
I realized that when he when his friend dropped off the grenades, I was like, oh, that's who he's talking about. I realized that's who was actually going to get killed.
Yeah, and that was a pretty messed up scene with his friend Pat too in the tub there. That that got to me. Yeah, man. It pulled on the heartstrings. That was sad. I forgot about that part. Yeah, Johnny Navarone got to him, and you don't like. He's like Johnny Navarone, the killer, got to his friend Pat and like did something to him, and he was Tommy found him in the bathtub. Just the bathtub's full of blood and everything. And Tommy, he needs to lift him up to see how bad it is. And he lifts him up, and they don't show it, so you don't know exactly what.
They drain the tub.
They drain the tub, yeah. And you're like, is his liver and all his guts just hanging out? We don't know, but we know it's more. We know it's mortal. I mean, he's going to die. We know that, but it was just so sad, dude.
It was, and then you feel that rage, and you're just John Wick. You're just on board with whatever mayhem is going to follow now.
Yeah,
because of the unnecessary violence that happened to his friend. Again, you don't care that he's not a good guy, that he kills people or whatever. You're just like, Kill them all.
Yeah, and
Kill them
that
all.
and that it's that coupled with Pat thinking that he was Tommy's best friend and finding out that
Right.
Nat actually, kind of was, So
Right.
Pat was dealing with that, and he's trying to be tough for the first time, and he didn't give up any
Right.
information when the Navarone guy was torturing him. So it was pretty solid, man.
Yeah. It was good stuff, man. I really enjoyed it.
These aren't your mommy and daddy's comics.
Well, it's not Vertigo level. Like all the blood is black and stuff for the most part. There's no swearing, but it's definitely mature though. It's definitely not like reading like a '90s Venom comic or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would love to see this character adapted to the screen, small screen, big screen. Don't even care which, under James Gunn. And who knows? Maybe it'll happen. Maybe not. But yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it though. Rob, I assume you enjoyed it. No,
Yeah, solid 3.
so 3 from Rob.
Good
Yeah, it's
pick.
called Hitman
Good pick.
by Garth Ennis and John McCrea.
Never heard of it until you mentioned.
That's what I'm here for, to bring you the good shit, the good stories.
Yeah, definitely reminiscent of The Boys for sure. Him killing superheroes and stuff. But
Look
Right.
at that.
And the
ventured
Punisher
onto
stuff,
And the
DC
Punisher.
side.
yeah,
But it's on DC Infinite. I believe they have the full 60 issue run, even though they kept trying to divert me to some other miniseries.
Yeah, man. I was like, what the hell? What are you
Yeah.
doing? And then it was like, pay. Why I got paid for this? I was like, this is the
No.
next issue. And then I was like, oh,
Right.
you motherfuckers.
You had to like go back and all those issues. I don't know what they were trying to divert to. It's weird. I don't know why
Trying
they
to
were
get
doing
more money. I don't blame them.
that. Yeah.
Got to pay
all
for
right,
that
so I have-
Superman movie.
All right, so the pick. I do not have a movie. I have a show. I know that's going to upset Steve, but I don't care. I've been on a tear with The Tick. I am still enjoying The Tick.
Ah, fuck.
So we are going to watch.
Why'd you say fuck?
I want to watch The Tick. I would have watched
Acts
it
like
already.
I just show up with garbage every week.
I'd rather
Which one did you
watch
what
an
did you
hour
watch?
and a half movie and get it over with. Not.
You love watching TV. What are you talking about?
But if it was on TV and I wanted to watch it, I would have already watched it.
No, you didn't know about this. That's what
Yeah,
you
dude.
think.
Is it the new Tick or the old Tick?
Well, there's 3 of them. I was gonna do the cartoon because some of the episodes are so good, but I think I'm gonna do the like the late '90s, early 2000s series.
With
It's
Warburton?
9. It's Patrick Warburton, yeah. The live action one, the first live action series. It is on my Amazon Prime account, so you can watch it on there. I don't know if it's available anywhere else other than like DVD. But it's 9 episodes. I almost guarantee you will. The more you watch of it, the more you'll just want to keep watching it, and then it ends, and you're going to be like, "Oh fuck!" That's my prediction anyway.
Right, it ends on a cliffhanger.
Well, no, not necessarily cliffhangers. You just want more. You just want to see more with these characters.
Okay.
In my opinion,
Oh,
I've
great.
rewatched it
Another
many
Firefly.
times. Yeah, that would probably be more accurate. Another Firefly, possibly. The video quality is fucking awful. I have no idea why, and the audio is desynced slightly. So just prepare for that. I don't. They pulled this show out of a trash bin, from what I can tell.
Is it in 480?
It might be that good. It might be in 240. Like it's in widescreen. Oddly, it's widescreen. So you think it'd be like, but like I don't know if you ever watched like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like they didn't switch to HD until like way late, and all the early Curbs, even the ones that are in widescreen, are still like real grainy. This actually looks worse than the early Curb Your Enthusiasms. It looks so bad. It's upsetting. But yeah, I want you guys to watch that. Watch as many episodes as you can. I'm not going to say watch all 9 episodes. I will text you certain episodes that I want you to watch of it. Basically, because it's not like you don't have to watch every episode. It's not like a through line plot for the most part. So, but I'll text you like 3 episodes that you absolutely have to watch. And then if you want to watch them all, please do. Because I rewatch them all the goddamn time, and I love the show. It's one of those things. It's actually, you bring up Firefly. I feel like it's just like Firefly. They played, like, I did some my Wikipedia research. They played the episodes out of order, like Firefly. They put it in like a crazy time slot where it was up against like a weekly Super Bowl, Friends, Seinfeld, and the Second Coming of Christ, basically. And like,
They're
it's,
like,
you know what I
why
mean?
did it fail?
Right. Nobody watched it. What are you gonna
It
do?
must be shit.
Right. And they played the episodes out of order. I think they didn't even play all 9 episodes. I think they only played 8 of them or something too. But yeah, they set it out to fucking die, basically. And it's fucking fantastic. Maggie and I watched it years ago, like after it came out on DVD the first time, and she loved it. She didn't really know much about the Tick. I don't think she had seen the cartoon or anything, but she enjoyed it. I think you guys will dig it. I hope you guys will dig it. It's on, like I said, it's on my Prime account. I don't know if anybody else is streaming it, but I'll give you my Prime information so you can log in and watch it. Just text me whenever you go to watch it, and I'll send you that stuff. Actually, no. You just need my Comixology stuff. If you have my Comixology login, it's the same login. So just use that. Don't say it out loud, Steve. I see you over there.
No, I was gonna say, do you have any Tick like statues or anything?
No, there's not a lot of merch. I was actually looking for stuff. Are some figures I wanted that came out back in like the mid 90s, and there's actually a new figure coming out later this year, but it's only like 5.5-inch scale. So I have that on pre-order. But yeah, I don't really have any Tick merch, but I do want to get some Tick merch. I love his design. I love the original 12 issues of the series written by Ben Edlund. Ben Edlund, who worked on Firefly.
No shit. That's cool.
Yeah. He's worked with
Joss
Joss Whedon on some other stuff too.
Oh, so he's a writer.
Yeah. He started off as a comic book writer and artist, creating the Tick, but he went to I think he went to film school. He really wanted to work in movies and TV and stuff. I think he did a lot of stuff with Joss Whedon.
Did he write with him on all the episodes or just a couple?
No, I think he's only on like 1 or 2 episodes, but I think he might have written on Buffy or Angel and like some other stuff here and there. I don't remember his whole like CV or anything, but he's worked with Joss Whedon a few times and learned from Joss Whedon.
Okay, so all my favorite stuff. Sweet. I'm sure I'll love the Tick.
you will like the Tick. You'll like the sense of humor. It's fantastic. You will love Batman Well. If you do not like Batman Well, then I don't know what to do. Like, I guess you can't be on the show anymore. But Batman Well is such a great character, and you might recognize him. He had a role in a Batman movie later after the Tick. So when he showed up in a Batman movie, I was like, oh my god, it's Batman Well. Batman Well's in a Batman movie, and he's basically just like a pervy version of Batman.
I remember this guy. I must have watched the cartoon or something, but I remember.
No, he's only in the show. Well, that was Deflator Mouse, but it's a similar character. There's something weird where he couldn't use the characters from the cartoon. So instead of American Made and Deflator Mouse, he has Captain Liberty and Batman Well.
Okay.
And Arthur's in it too, like from the cartoon. But Batman Well is so fucking funny, dude. It's such a great show. The Tick is funny. It's fucking fantastic. I'm so stoked for you guys to watch it. I want you to watch it as soon as you get off this podcast. I know you won't, but I want you to. That's how excited I am for you to watch the Tick. What else do you guys have this week?
I just found out who sang that Moni Moni song. Moni Moni.
Okay. Who is it?
You don't know either? It's just me? Oh my god. It's fucking Billy Idol.
Oh, I did know that.
I had no idea.
I had forgotten that, but I did know that at one point.
I did not know that. I just found that
Everybody knew that.
I was today years old when I found that out.
Fair enough.
And I found out about there's 2 different time. What is it? Central Standard Time and Daylight Standard Time?
Central Daylight. So,
one is when it's Daylight Savings Time. The other one is when it's not.
When it's Standard Time. So basically 6 months out of the year, it's Central Daylight Time. 6 months out of the year, it's Central Standard Time. And that's for all the time zones. Eastern Daylight, Eastern Standard. It's all the same.
I had no idea. Thought it was all Standard Time.
So, yeah, it makes sense. But no, it changes. Technically, it changes. But that's why you can literally just put CT and figure it out. You don't have to put CST or CDT. You just put CT and people can figure it out. Hopefully, how does Indiana get away with not participating in daylight saving time? By the way, how
What?
do they get a pass? Indiana doesn't do daylight saving time.
Oh, they just don't.
They just don't do it.
Like
They're
it's
like, no
Who
thanks.
doesn't?
but it's in the range of it,
Indiana.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Indiana's
they went to it.
Oh, they use it now?
They use it now.
Are they Eastern or Central?
There's
Do you know how recently they did that?
They're probably central.
Central. I think they're Central.
Well, they're not in Central,
just recently,
actually.
like within a year or two or less.
Actually, I know they're not in Central because when I sent Steve that map, they were clearly cut off.
Oh,
So
that but before they're just like, no, we're not doing that.
As of April 2nd, 2006, most of Indiana is in the Eastern time zone except for 18 counties. Indiana now observes daylight saving time.
I'm kind of with Indiana. Like, what does it fucking matter?
Right.
Like, who gives a shit?
Yes.
Why do we gotta fucking change the time?
And that's why I think either make it daylight saving time all year or make it not all year. But just stop it. Just stop it.
But
we don't need it.
But like, what is the reason for that?
Yeah, I looked it up and I've forgotten. You have to look it up, but it's so weird.
People
I used to hear
feel
it was
happier when they had more daylight or something. I don't.
Yeah, I don't like. Okay, one of the things I read is it had to do with like kids getting on buses in the morning when it was too dark, so they'd get in accidents or whatever. But like at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you wait all the way till November to change it. Anyway,
Okay.
and then like what I used to always hear is that like it was Ben Franklin's fault or something, and then I used to hear that it was about farmers. I've heard a million different things. I don't remember though.
Wait a minute. Did it exist before the time of buses, automobiles?
Yes.
Okay.
But like I think what I read about the buses is when like I think it was in Florida or somewhere where they decided to like abolish it, and then they reinstated it because like the fucking car to kid murder rate went up or something. I don't remember what it was.
Well, that's
in the
Florida
mornings.
though. That's like offset. You can't
Right.
take anything that happens down there.
Also, please feel free to fact check anything I'm saying. I'm going by a very faulty memory here, and I don't want to present this as absolute fact.
Sean's like, I saw a meme.
right. It was a TikTok video. I don't know. She had a lot of cleavage out. I don't remember what it said.
And Trump's president again. Nailed it.
Like, all right. So, you guys want to wrap it up, or what are we doing?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I got nothing else.
All right.
What do you got, Rob?
I'd like to go eat.
All right.
Food
thank
is
you
good.
for listening. Steve, thank you for communicating and showing up.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
I thought you guys I sent you 17 texts. I thought you guys would like that.
He sent 2 texts, and I appreciated both of them. I saved them forever.
Oh, I do have one more thing. I started a Twitter account, a Steve Reads official Twitter account at Steve Reads 3. So
okay,
at Steve Reads 3 if you want to, hang out there. If you guys like to tweet more than Instagram or whatever.
We basically just post links to the show.
Yeah,
don't look for exciting new content.
Look, man, I need to get more on hands with this stuff. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm busy. I'll try and post some funny shit, memes. Try and get our social media going. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'll do my best.
Do it.
Do it.
All right.
I will not tweet anything. I will not Instagram anything. I will not TikTok anything. I will not Facebook you.
You can't because you don't have any of those accounts.
That is
correct. He can if he creates them.
Yes.
He's not been barred.
Yeah, I wanted to look at a menu at a restaurant. It's like Facebook. You can start an account. I'm like, you can fuck off and die.
Rob is our resident boomer, despite actually being a Gen Xer.
That is true.
You could really, dude. There's a huge demographic of people like you, Rob. I mean, I think you could connect with a lot of people. Like Sean's,
they're called boomers.
Sean's the opinionated one. I'm the lovable idiot. You're the old curmudgeon. Like we can corner the market if we just get Rob on social media.
I don't want to communicate with anybody.
That's fair.
Boomers communicate, dude. There's more boomers on Facebook. They're fucking, dude. They're getting scammed all the time. You'd be surprised on how many people.
I had a customer texting me, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you texting? I have no idea what you're trying to tell me." So all I did was I hit call, and I figured it out in talking with them in 15 seconds. That's all you had to do. You wasted 5 minutes of my time when I could have finished it in 45
That's
seconds.
a nightmare.
I'm with you. That's cringeworthy.
Why do
Like,
y'all
who
hate
fucking talks to
talking
people?
to people? It's just crazy.
I don't like interacting with people,
But
with strangers or
shit
people I
on
don't know.
text is totally, you have no idea what the other person is thinking.
Well, only if they're bad at communicating via text. I feel like I can explain myself better via text.
Yes. And you can come up with the exact correct thing to say before you say it, too.
Right. Instead of sitting there going,
yeah.
the thing with the thing, you know, like you could actually figure that shit out. That's why I like the text. All right, let's wrap it up so Rob can go eat. Thanks for listening. We will be back next week, most likely.
Deuces.
Ciao.